Hi, I'm Ron Paulk. I want to pass on an excellent lean storage idea. Now, this idea was sent to me, a link to this was sent to me by one of you, and I wanted to pass it along to everybody else. This is one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. It's a Levrack. Now, this is a product that's been created by some farmers, and they're racking in their barns. This system is demonstrated in big industrial farming, that kind of tool storage. And they show some pictures here. You can see the tooling before and then when they've added these. They invented these, they created these, they manufacture them, they sell them. And I think about, a 2-car garage, if you had a little oversize on the space, because these things are 4 feet deep and it looks like maybe about 18 inches to 2 feet wide. And they hang on standard like pallet racking. And so they can integrate with pallet racking. And so in a garage or even a big shop, you could just roll them. They're hanging so the floor doesn't have to be level or smooth. And so you could easily move them to create that aisleway, much like when you go to your doctor's office and they have all of those files and they kind of roll them. They're on the, they're moving on the floor. But this is one would be much more cost effective. Those things are expensive, and these would hold more weight. And you don't have to keep the floor, have a track on the floor, easier to sweep up, and also just smoothly moving them. My efficiency even goes beyond that in my own life. I've been moving towards smaller and smaller. I want to take care of less and less so that I can travel and go do things and have a big life, but small ownership of things that I need to take care of. And so the things that I do have, I want them to be really nice. I want them to be accessible, and I want to be able to do things with them. Just owning stuff means nothing, but it's what I can produce with them that matters. And hence the smart wood shop, the 12-foot, the smaller trailer, more efficient design that I'm working on. And this kind of just fit right in. So I'm not looking at something like this for a garage. I got to thinking about using this in our kitchen and our kitchen remodels that we do. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I want to grab one of the pictures of one of their smaller setups here. So you can see that there are 4 cabinets. So I don't know what the overall dimensions are, but I know it's 4 feet deep. And you just roll these things, creating this aisleway, and you go into this aisleway and you have 4 feet of top to bottom shelving, adjustable shelving. You turn around, you got it on this side, and you can just move the next one. You can put a single continuous nice LED strip light up in there, so whichever one is open, there's going to be light coming down. Well, my thought, and I talked to my wife about this to bounce it off of her, and she thought it was a great idea. That is, I could take this into a kitchen remodel. One of the things about kitchens, are very expensive, and everybody wants more cabinets and more space. But you can take a smaller space and do some really interesting stuff with cabinets and make it more usable, more livable. And something like this would give you a massive pantry in a small space compared to the return. But I could take this as it is. This is freestanding, and I could bolt it back to the wall and probably would. But I could put a cabinet panel on the side and a valance across the top, a little filler on both sides, create a real cabinet look. And then on the face of these, I could get more cabinet material from my cabinet manufacturer, stained and finished to match, and panelize these and create a really nice pantry. But beyond that, one of the things that we're doing on our remodels, chalkboard walls are very in vogue now. People are really enjoying them, even our highest end kitchens. And what we're doing is we're doing a smooth wall finish, and we're doing a chalkboard paint. And again, very popular and very cool. And so I told my wife is I could cut panels, take these handles off, cut panels out of plywood, edge them, apply them to these, and paint them with chalkboard paint. And then you would have these strips of chalkboard wall. You could push them together and the kids or make notes or whatever the things they're doing with them. And I could put a 1/4-inch panel, which would be enough for the chalkboard, but I got to thinking putting 3/4 on these, then I could leave the handles off and just drill some finger holes or an elongated hole like I do in the smart wood shop drawers that you could just get your fingers in because it's 3/4 deep and then move them and then just have a black backing on it so that you don't see through to the silver, or the silver might be a cool accent. But then you would have an amazing amount of pantry, and have your cool chalkboard wall, and then have it trimmed out to match your cabinetry. And even one of the things we try to do is get away from the tall stuff, the refrigerators and the double ovens and tall cabinetry that eat up counter space. We could even integrate this on a longer wall where the refrigerator was in with it, and continue to balance and make it look like just this big wall unit. So really cool concept. And I'll kind of show you the chalkboard wall I'm talking about. So here's just a typical, this is not ours, but we do things like this. And then one of our clients particularly has a very talented daughter in high school, at the time senior in high school. It's a few years ago now, but she was constantly doing stuff like this on a daily basis. They were taking pictures of her art and putting it on Facebook, and it was really cool. But you could imagine something like this in that, and just create this really cool space, and yet have this really functional pantry. So I think it's a really lean idea, a cool idea, and if it wasn't for you sending me the link and bringing it to my attention, I wouldn't have seen it. So I wanted to share it with everybody else. Well, if you like these ideas and you want to see more of them, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And when you subscribe, I'm showing you here on one of the channels I subscribe to, Terry White, because I can't show you on my own. It doesn't give me these options. But right where I subscribe, there's a bell. And if you click on that bell, you can choose to get an email notification when I upload a new video, or any of the other channels you're following. And I find that helpful because I subscribe to quite a few channels and I've got a lot going on, and sometimes things pass by, and I like seeing the title and what's up there. So just wanted to pass that little YouTube tip along as well. Well, thanks for taking the time to watch. Have a great day.